Welcome to Trust the Cones.
Hey guys, it's around 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:50 to be exact. I wanted to start this challenge about an hour later, but unfortunately my son woke me up, so I can't go back to sleep, and I think I'm going to start it around 5 o'clock. So a little bit of history here. I wanted to do 1 million experience in a day. The challenge kind of evolved a little bit. When I realized it would be double XP events, I decided to take advantage and make it 4 million. Which would be, doubling the 1 million for Lucky Eggs and then doubling it again for the XP challenge. So today I'm going to do 4 million experience, at least, hopefully. I have 950 evolves ready. Basically, that's 650 Pokemon that I can evolve at least once. And of those, there's 300 that I'm going to evolve again. So that's going to get me about 1.9 million, and that doesn't count the fact that I'll have Go Plus going, and I'll be spinning new stops and gyms. I'm going to go to New York City. I'm hoping to be around 2 million by noon. I think it'll slow down quite a bit after that. I'm going to be catching Pokemon all day, but obviously I can't evolve everything I catch. I'm going to get Murkrow or Apom or some evolves, so it's not going to be able to just instantly evolve everything. The bright side, I have a lot of candy saved. I really haven't done evolve since April when I hit 40. So, I have 8,500 centric candy ready to go. So that's going to get me a long way towards the challenge. Alright, so the rules of this challenge are I'm only allowed to use one device. I'm the only one allowed to do it. I have to get 4 million experience within 24 hours on my account. I'm at the train station. I'm on my way to New York City now. Evolving away right now. I'm in the middle of a Lucky Egg. So at this point, I'm at 4.41 million or 44.1 million. So I gotta get to 47 point something, 47.5, so I have a long way to go. When I got to New York, it wasn't as lit as I was hoping. There were a lot of stops, obviously. A lot of halos, so a lot of experience to be gotten, but there weren't lures up everywhere. So it was a little bit discouraging. I kind of was hoping that everything would be lit. Turns out by the end of the day, everything was lit. No matter where you went in the city, there were lures everywhere. So then I made my way up towards Bryant Park, and Bryant Park is just unbelievable. There used to be 7 lures in one spot. I think there's 6 now. I think one of them became a gym with the changes. But either way, you can stand at a Starbucks at a corner of 42nd and 6th Ave and easily hit 6 lures. Plus, the park has tons of stops. It's a nest. Everything was lit up. It was really great. I made some laps around the area to kind of keep moving. I ran into a wild Dragonite. I think it was a lure spawn. I'm not 100% sure. It was in an area with 3 stops that were lured. But it's tough to tell what was natural and what was lured. So I caught it. That was obviously great. It's always good to get 20 Dratini candy. I've cut out evolves in this video. You can assume that basically every time the screen capture jumps, it's because I am evolving something. Pretty much every chance I had, I hit evolve. I let the Gotcha or Go Plus do the work.
I'm at Rockefeller Center now. It's mobbed here, but I kind of love it. It's not necessarily the best Poke place, but it's completely lit right now, so the lures help. If you look behind me, you can see the tree, Rockefeller Center, and it's a nice tree-lined street. It's actually pretty quiet today compared to how it's going to be pretty much every day after tomorrow. This area gets nuts around Christmas. Guys, look who I found in New York. It's a wild chaos Bill. So we just did Central Park. Now we're walking down and we're gonna go to Bryant Park again because it's awesome. It is 2 o'clock and I'm checking in at 2.5 million right now. So 1.5 million more to go. Just cracked 2.9 million on a day. So I'm gonna get 4 million pretty easily, I think, at this point. And we're about to do a raid at some church. It's probably a nice church. I think it's St. Patrick's Cathedral, actually. Chaos Bill is getting ready to go to the Flyers game. So they're gonna leave me alone, let me keep grinding more. At this point, it's a little before 5 o'clock. I hit 3.5 million on the day. It's all but certain now I'll get 4 million. It's insane.
Yeah, I've done about 500,000 without even trying, just walking around New York. So this double XP with Lucky Eggs is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We did a few raids today. We did 3 Suicune, and one thing we noticed that was very different than where we live is no one talks to each other. Everyone just shows up, there's 20 people in a room, and that's it.
Yeah, it's not social at all. It's a big difference. I mean, it's nice that you can get a full raid very quick, especially right at the start of the raids, but there's no social aspect to it at all.
Yeah, and it's a different game too. It's like I have all the good counters and they're all maxed, but I only got +1 damage ball every single time. And
yeah,
with 20 people in the group, you know,
yeah, you don't even need good
winning.
Pokemon. You don't need good Pokemon to raid in New York. That's for sure.
Different game. I like catching Pokemon here. I like raiding in the suburbs.
I agree.
It's official, guys. I did 4 million XP today. It took me about 13 and a half hours. I feel great. I'm gonna keep going. So let's see how I can go. I'm gonna do my 5th raid of the day. There's a Suicune right here. So I'm gonna do that and then back up to Bryant Park. And I'm not saying I'm going for 5 million, but I'm going for 5 million.
Instead of going to Bryant Park immediately, I decided it was a good idea to go downtown. I hadn't been there, so I figured there'd be, you know, some halos I could hit on stops. I ended up going to Union Square, and this was a huge win for me. So, in a lot of the time I spent in Bryant Park, it was a lot of Magnemites and Electrodes and all kind of stuff that I had burned my candy on. Even things like Meowth and Ekans and things that just like, you know, I went in with 2,000 candy, but by the end of the morning it was already gone. So I had to catch a bunch more before I could evolve again. But when I got to Union Square, that's where I started finding the rats and the Centrets, a lot more Pidgeys and Weedles too, which was great, because I had so much candy at that point left that I could just go and evolve those guys. Big win. So from there, I walked south to Washington Square Park, which was not very good for Pokemon actually. I loved the neighborhood, it was just not a lot going on in the park itself. I really thought I was going to be in trouble. I thought 5 million may have been out of reach if I kept with the status quo. I did have a lot of candy and a lot of Pidgeotos, Metapods, and Kakunas that I could evolve. That's not the most efficient use of candy. I did do it at some points in this challenge just to make sure I was always evolving, but it really wasn't something I wanted to have to do. So Union Square helped. You know, the whole village helped. But I really started gaining experience when I started weaving the streets. I walked between 5th and 7th Avenue and went down every numbered street that had 3 or 4 stops, so I was able to get 1,000 per spin on the Lucky Eggs. And that's when it started adding up a lot. By the time I actually got to Bryant Park, it was around 9:30. I was close at this point. I was probably 100,000 away, if that, maybe even less. So I just took, you know, catching stuff, evolving stuff. That's when I really started evolving some of those Pidgeotos. Anything I could catch that I could evolve, I was evolving immediately. And then I was there. And then it was there. 5 million XP.
So they told me that 4 million a day was impossible in Pokemon Go. So I decided to go out and do 5 million in a day. One day, I started at 5 a.m. It's close to 10 p.m. 5 million experience.
So one day later, I'm absolutely exhausted. My body hurts from walking 25 miles, but it was worth it. Like, I really had a great time doing it. First of all, I challenged myself to do something and I exceeded the challenge, which makes me happy. I also got to spend a whole day in the city without kids. I love my kids, but it's really nice to be in Manhattan without them. Had 2 good meals. I got to hang out with Chaos Bill and MVP, 2 great dudes. We had a bunch of fun with that. I actually got lucky and they were on my same train home as well after the game, so we got to hang out and sit together. I don't know that I'll do something like this again anytime soon, but I'm glad I did it at least once. Guys, I'm going to have some stats here at the end of the video. I'm going to go through and kind of show my starting point for a few badges and my ending point. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys soon.